don't usually wear show clothes on a daily basis, just to let you guys know. But I feel like riding my tinker. So I was also just filming a video and editing and stuff. So we're just gonna ignore the outfit. Anyway, today I thought I might sort of do not really a check-in, but almost like just a talk about stuff. I wrote down a list because I'm bored. So yeah, I want to check out the new Mustangs, and then I also just watched the spoiler on the Dartmoor pony. If it's not affecting other people who don't want spoilers, I don't mind. I'm fine with it. What is this? Oh, it's the Volumast. Okay, never mind. We're good. Anyway, I heard the Mustangs are supposed to be really good, so I'm just like kind of skeptical. I'm putting brown on a brown and white horse. Sorry, Stewbald. Is this a stew? Is this a Stewbald? I don't know at this point. I might as well just like head down to Starshine Ranch. Also, I feel like they've been doing a lot more updates in like Firgrove Starshine area just because it hasn't had a lot of attention recently. It's mostly been like Silverglade or Moorland for the Rainbow Festival, and like all the other festivals are usually focused at that one Moorland area. And I'm not saying I agree with like the exclusion of those non-star riders, because it was a really fun festival. I feel like they should have been included. But I do like how they sort of didn't keep it centered at Moorland, and that it was more around Firgrove, which is one of my favorite places. So I kind of liked how they switched that up. One thing I hated was how many wolves there were. It was like the first few days you would encounter like one or two, maybe use one or two of your spray bottle things, whatever they were, like animal repellent, the stinky bomb that we had. I don't know what else to call it. It sort of felt like after the first few days the wolves were kind of overkill, and they were just everywhere, and they would attack you at any point, even if you weren't near them at all. Like I would be mining over here, like up here, and there would be no wolves around me, and then randomly this one wolf would like pop out of nowhere and like completely attack you. And so I think that was kind of overkill, and they're talking about adding it to the game for real now. So I'm just like, try to keep it to a point where it's just in the deeper woods. I enjoyed the festival again for the first few weeks. After that, it just sort of got boring. I didn't like how long they kept it around though. That was nice. I just thought it sort of got boring after a while, especially after what was that? Basically, especially after you finished the quest with the like secret society thing that they had going on, then it sort of felt like I don't really have anything else to do. Just the only reason I would log on was to get those chests. Oh, and we're rearing now. Okay, what was that? And we're galloping. All right. Anyway, the Mustangs are supposed to be. Oh, are people riding them now? I do like how they have this separate horse. Yeah, this is the Mustang. Okay. I like how they have the separate horse thing, so that you don't need to be. Oh, that's adorable. The Dartmoors actually do that smile thing now. I find that really cute, because a lot of the horses at my barn do it, and it's really cute. Oh, that's a nice color. You can tell that I don't have enough money for it. But, you know, I can dream. I kind of like that canter. It's very interesting. Sort of looks like he has a broken leg. That's better. Fine. What was that? He just shapes? I'm confused. I thought they bucked. Did they make them not buck anymore? I love draft horses. They're adorable. They're just big, fluffy horses that just want cuddles for their entire life. I love it. Anyway, the Dartmoor. So the Dartmoor pony, I don't know if SSO has said anything about it. They probably have. I'm just clueless. Basically, the Dartmoor pony, CC Creations sent out a spoiler today, actually, saying, like, here's the new Dartmoors, their usual shindig when it comes. Why am I talking all Western all of a sudden? Shindig and y'all. Anyway, the usual video of, like, here's the next horse that SSO is putting out. These are the dates. And let me just say this first. I've never seen a Dartmoor pony in real life. The only Dartmoor that I know of is Rolo, that Harlow has. And so that's the only Dartmoor exposure that I have, you could say. What I'm trying to say is, to me, it looks like SSO is just slapping the, like, new coats on the Halflanger pony. Just like a chunkier Halflanger pony. And I'm just like, I don't know how I like that, because I, again, have a Halflanger. I bought her for my 100 subscribers, and I love her. She's really cute. Like, I love their dates. They're very perky. It's the only way I can describe it, really. Perky. I feel like it's a mix between the Gotland pony and the Halflanger, and then you just add a bit of chonk onto it, and then you got the Dartmoor from SSO. And so I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm happy that SSO is trying to expand instead of redoing horses that we already have. I don't know. I feel like they don't have new ideas recently. I'm, like, happy that they're making a new breed. I'm just not really upset and not really frustrated, just, like, disappointed at most. And not even that. I'm just like, okay. It just looks like they mixed a Halflanger and a Gotland pony, and if that works for you, fine. Again, like, it's an English breed, and in-game, it looks completely different from in the video, too, so I might just have to check it out in-game and see if I like it, and most likely I will buy it, because it's kind of cheap, and the special move is actually interesting. It's really cute. It's just interesting. And it's not repeated, too, which I find is really nice. And for the price that they have it at, which is 800, I'm like, that's actually kind of a deal. That's a good score. Or good price, right? For 800 star coins, that's okay. But if they were pricing it like 950, no, I wouldn't bother with that. I'm very tired because I was working at my barn today. We worked for 4 hours, like, leading ponies around for pony camp. And then, after that, it's like, we also muck out in those 4 hours too, so it's like leading ponies and mucking out. Why is he riding on my horse? I thought he rode on Mayor Peanut. After the 4 hours of work, we have like an hour for lunch, which is really nice because we get to, like, cool down, especially on really hot days like this. And then we have a hour group ride, and there's only 6 people, which is actually kind of small for this barn's group lessons. They usually have at most 8 people. And so I found it was a really nice lesson today. We did jumping, which we do a lot, especially in the summer. Our trainer likes to challenge us because we have the skill for it. And so it's like, once you have the skill, then you can start challenging yourself a lot more with this sport, which I really enjoy, because in my privates, I'm like jumping 85 centimeters now, which is decently tall for me. And so it's like, I'm pushing myself a lot more now that I know I have the skill to do it. So yeah, it was a really nice lesson today. I rode my favorite pony, little Queenie. She's a little ginger Welsh mare. She's ginger. She's Welsh. Sorry, not ginger. She's chestnut. She's Welsh. And she is a mare, and she's young. So you know how that goes. So she's interesting. She's a little character, but I love her. And I love jumping her. She really enjoys jumping. It's just she gets so ahead of herself that she doesn't, like, stay with you, almost. So she pulls you towards the jump, and yet she since she's small, I would say she's 13 almost, she basically has to like throw herself over the jump. And the thing is, she's done it before, and like she has like some of the trainers riding her too, so she's like strong enough to do it. Don't get me wrong, we're not like forcing her to go over these like meter high jumps, but it was like she really enjoys it. You can tell she enjoys it because she like pulls you towards it, and it's really fun to just do that with her. Anyway, so it's like she's so small that she has to force herself over and like goes like wee, and so you have to really give with your hands when you go over. And so it's like I throw my hands forward, but my body doesn't go forward because it's such a small jump that like I just throw my hands forward, but I just stay backwards. And like my trainer would yell at me if I overfolded because I fell off her tweenie because I overfolded once. Anyway, yeah, so that was that. Yesterday we had a really rainy lesson. It was so annoying because it was like misty, and then it was raining, then it was sprinkling. I was on another very grumpy mare, and we did some pole work, which was actually kind of nice because this horse, Willow, we don't work well together. She doesn't like me, I don't like her. I don't usually enjoy riding her just because like she's so difficult, and she's strong, like overly strong, and to me she's sort of like almost an overbearing person in a way, where their personality is so strong that like you just get overwhelmed by it. And recently my anxiety has been coming a lot into my riding, which I've been trying to help like stop. But riding horses that like overwhelm me like that, it doesn't scare me really, it just overwhelms me, and it just makes me uncomfortable to the point where I'm just like I don't enjoy this. And so she's the kind of horse that does that, and it's not her fault at all. Like I can't change the way she canters, like I can't change the fact that she is like a rocking horse when you canter. She looks like this, just worse, and she pulls your hands down and she throws you out of the seat, and it's so annoying. So it's just like, yeah, she also has such an overbearing personality that she gets grumpy at everyone. She's the kind of mare that likes to have her space, which fine, I like having my own space too. She just kicks everything, bites everything. She hates everything in their moms. She enjoys what she does, of course, like she wouldn't be doing it if she didn't, but I just feel like I don't enjoy doing what I do on her. Without it sounding weird or like cheesy, I just don't work well with her. I'm probably gonna edit this one first, just get that over with, and then post. Oh, there's the beach ride, I forgot about that. Volunteering is fine. I do it a lot. I do it every break, and I do it when I can, just because I get a lot of time just to learn by doing, because I'm a doer kind of thing. Like, you tell me something and I'm not gonna get it, but if I write it out or like I explain it to myself, I just like volunteering at my barn just because like it's me learning by actually doing it, and I'm around professionals and I can ask them any question that I want. It's basically like an extended pony week, but you only get one ride instead of two, and so I find it's really nice. You can see how a real lesson barn works. Like, you can see like all the work behind the scenes instead of just taking lessons. I really enjoy it, and if you are able to volunteer at your barn, I do recommend doing it. Just make sure it's not for a long time because it can tire you out. I find it's really nice just to like get out in the outdoors and just get your hands dirty, because you're scooping up poop from a horse, from an animal that poops constantly every single day. Every single moment of every single day. Probably wouldn't know half the stuff I know without having worked at a barn or spent time being there other than riding and lessons, because you just learn so much. Haley Kitten Hope did a auction for her realistic roleplay, and I applied for the horse Tritter. He was the little black and white Appaloosa Gorvik wild Mustang, and I actually really liked the idea she had. It was really interesting, and any chance that I can get a new horse into a roleplay, I will take it. Plus, my roleplay right now only has one horse, and I have been wanting to add another. I didn't know if I wanted it to be a rescue, or if I wanted it to be a, another show horse or something, but yeah, so I may or may not have gotten Tritter. And I also applied for another one, the flea-bitten Arabian, but I didn't get him because you can only get one, and I'm actually kind of glad I got Tritter just because it's my favorite horse. Her real name is Pink, but her roleplay name is Tritter, and I really like Tritter. The roleplay that's coming out isn't going to be about that because I was already working on it when the results came out, so I'm gonna finish the one that I'm working on now and then introduce Tritter into the storyline. And I'm definitely keeping the name because I really like the name. It's a really creative name, and I probably wouldn't have thought of anything better. I also have been thinking of doing a how I film thing because it's gotten a lot more complicated, and I'm actually really happy with how I figured this out. And I know a lot of other realistic roleplay people who use iMovie and Quicktime Player like I do. Why did I just land that? I'm thinking of doing a how I film realistic roleplay thing, and then so I'm just kind of like, what should I do? I'm trying to figure out how that would work because it's hard to wrap my head around like how to film myself filming in a way, if that makes sense, because it's sort of like, do I say, oh, I do Quicktime Player while I'm already using it? And then I'm also thinking, should I just show you guys how I edit? Like, take a video of, like, something and show you guys how I edit? Because I have a very specific way of how I edit. It takes a long time, which is why it takes me so long to find the motivation to actually do it. What horse? Is that one of the new Mustangs? Because that is adorable. I love that. I am actually kind of excited about this realistic roleplay, just because when I'm bored with what I'm trying to do with this new realistic roleplay series is that I'm trying to stick with this one. Like, this is going to be my main realistic roleplay for the rest of the time, is what I'm trying to do. And it probably won't stay that way because I get bored with my roleplay series really quickly. So what I'm trying to do is, like, challenge myself editing-wise and, like, videoing-wise to find new ways to do stuff, to, like, find new ways of getting this type of shot or, like, this type of shot. Then I challenge myself with concept. What I'm gonna try and do with this one is just do a lot more challenging things editing-wise or story-wise, just so it keeps me entertained, and I think it'll keep you lot entertained as well, just because, like, I get kind of bored just because I find it so repetitive. And so I think finding new ideas to do is extremely hard in the realistic roleplay community, just because it's such a repetitive thing that if something's trending, everybody's going to do it because it's a new, fresh idea that nobody's done before. And so it's like, then once everybody's done it, you don't really want to do it anymore because people are doing it all the time now. How do I make it, like, original? How do I make it, like, my idea instead of just like, oh, someone did this, I should do that. Yeah. Because I find that I watch realistic roleplays a lot just because I get inspiration from it. I get inspiration for, like, story ideas or... Okay, so I'm gonna end it here, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!